got a wide variety of news. We will indoctrinate.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Who was at the Softwex's panel last night? Alright, like very few. Excellent. So basically, ignore that guy. We're so much better. Even if we don't have the online presence or the money or the fame, we're better.
Or the talent either.
Believe
We're
us.
still better.
So, you might be asking yourself, what is the Man of Action panel? Well, it's filler. Yeah, it's filler. I'm just here for an hour to either make you laugh, cringe, cry, or just kind of fill the void for an hour of your lives. So what we fill that with is my sanity, or lack thereof anymore, from I think it's like 6 years worth of researching on fanfiction.net. I'm very crippled at this point in my life because I've gone through so much bad English, it hurts. So, on my right here, your left, is Mr. Jim Fitzgerald. The man who needs no introduction after all of this time. And over here on the soundboard, we have my man, Bubbles. And of course, I'm John. Yeah, it's just about as normal as you can get. No Fitz or Bubbles here, just plain old John. Anyways, so to get this panel started, I'll explain what we do. We read terrible fan fictions to you, but just to kind of get you warmed up and get you into the whole idea of this panel is to just read something just terrible. And Bubbles has provided me with ample source material, this time from 4chan. Usually we don't go near that.
I am not sorry.
Who here likes green text stories? Well, right here, we have a good one. Or at least, from what little I remember, I was very drunk when Bubbles sent this on to me, so I don't remember it either. Yeah, I'm not even joking about that. So, I'm going to read this, and then we're going to get on to some terrible fan fiction. And enjoy. Be fat. Go to /fit and find solution. Main problem is I eat like a dumpster. Apparently things with loads of fiber is going to save my filthy soul. Fiber is digested slowly, leaving you feeling full longer and helps with digestion. Go out and buy 2 boxes of fiber-heavy breakfast bars. First day, I have fiber bars for breakfast, lunch, and a lot of snacks. I don't shit that day. Next day, I fiber myself up even more. I don't shit that day either. Fiber Jesus is surely working his magic in my colon. Can feel the pounds dropping off because I'm not very hungry anymore. I don't shit the 3rd day. I don't shit the 4th day. The final day dawns. .mp3. I have my morning coffee and feel my insides rumble in that familiar way. The second I hit the toilet, the weirdest fart in the world exits me. It's whistling. Just a thin, continuous airstream of fart that smells like Grandpapa's coffin. No sound other than the whistling hiss suddenly stops. the hole is plugged. Save our souls. This shit is so solid, it feels like I'm giving anal birth to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Hang on to the shower curtain and pray. The Rock is shot out of my asshole at Mach speed. My entire ass is covered in toilet water. Now the fun begins. A fart that could do more damage to the ozone layer than aerosol ever did is shooting shit bullets out of me. The smell is killing me. Blacking out. The thuds of nuggets shooting around the bowl, propelled by my insane fiber flatulence, is giving me war flashbacks. I wasn't even in Nam, Dr. PG. My guts are yelling in German. Sounds like a moose in heat lives in my belly. Most of the shit isn't even digested at this point. Just forced out by all the gas that had been building up to my throat. After an hour, it finally seems to be over. I'm shivering and crying. Both legs collapse as I try to stand up. My stomach, hitting the bathroom tiles, forces one last trumpet. Gondor calls for aid. Shakily wipe my ass. Completely clean. The end. So, warmed up yet? If possible, I think that may have hurt your sensibilities. This is gonna hurt your brain. This one is called Lightning of Fate versus the Chimera Ghoul with a quirk. With a quirk?
What a quirk.
With a quirk. Jeez, why does Star Trek get into this? With a quirk by King J Gamer. So I'm going to read the author's note because, of course, the author's notes, I love them. As long as they're written by insane people. Otherwise, they're just kind of normal. Anyways, this non-related to the story fight is something I made up while running in circles. That's a sentence. I will only upload this if I get permission. Maybe. Probably not. Anyways, if this gets uploaded before some stuff happens in Ether Story, you just know that the only things related to the characters from their story are mine. Not Izuku Midoriya from Cannibal. Or Haruka Ryu. Those characters' personalities and hardships will probably be different when you read the rest of Useless Blanket's story, if they decide to upload more chapters and continue the story. If Useless Blanket's reading, then please do so. Anyways, Tekken is owned by Bandai Namco. Tokyo Ghoul is owned by Shui Ishida. And My Hero Academia is owned by Kohei Horikoshi. Also, Haruka Ryu is owned by Useless Blanket. You excited yet? I found a delectable crossover mix for all of you. Okay, so generally what we're going to do here is I'm going to take the narration and we're going to put on stupid voices, and Fitzy is going to be my main man, a girl, and Bubbles here is just going to be Sound effects galore.
I'm pretending I'm not here.
Yeah? Okay, so since we've started late, we're just going to jump straight into it. Haruka Ryu was at her second stage of the tournament. The person she was facing next was Izuku Midoriya. She wasn't exactly on the best terms with Izuku anymore after the monster comment, but was a bit better after the whole entrance exam robot smash and villain attack at the USJ. But that wasn't the point. Actually, you can read this. You're the announcer.
And now, our next match, Haruka Ryu and Izuku Midoriya.
Haruka was walking to the stage, but to everyone's surprise, Izuku wasn't. Then, Haru heard it. The sounds of a fight being played out down the hallway, with punches and kicks probably being thrown, making Haru tense much harder for a fight.
Izuku Midoriya, come on stage, or you will be.
Then Izuku came out, but not the way that anyone, not even All Might, saw coming. It was Izuku, flying backwards out of the hallway, sliding past Haru, and falling off the stage. Nice. There. Izuku looked to be in bad shape, with multiple bruises, blood leaking, and probably some broken bones. This left Haru in a cold state, almost unresponsive. Then, in a state on nearly uncontrollable rage, turning her eyes black and red. Yeah, sure, why not?
What the? This was President Mick in shock. Then both Haruka and President Mick exclaimed almost the same thing. Who did this? Is it Izuku Midoriya? Then the answer came, but none, again, were even close to expecting what came next. Walking out the other gate was none other than the child of destiny, Izuku Midoriya. Of my story, it's probably going to get confusing. Thank you very much for that little bit of an addendum there, King J Gamer. The shock was so much that Haru calmed down enough to keep her eyes normal, though was really and reasonably pissed. The other Izuku walked over in a weird outfit that many thought was bland and strange. It was a blue tracksuit with goldish flames printed in the jacket. Jin's Tekken 4 outfit. Hey! Pardon?
In brackets,
In
author's
brackets.
notes.
Author's notes, yeah. Hey, are you okay? I still want answers out of you. This made Haru Kanad even more pissed. Hey, this shocked Izuku of the Iron Fist story. This was the first time in a while a girl that wasn't in his class was starting conversation. Though what actually shocked him the most was the tone filled with rage. And now his day was officially ruined, with him taking down what was probably a clone of him. And now this random girl was yelling at him. What do you think you're doing? I was defeating a clone of me. But before the new Izuku could explain, Haru interrupted with some more rage-fueled yelling. Save it! Just know that you made a terrible mistake hurting my friend. This made the slightly conscious Izuku form this world happy that she considered him a friend again and worried at what was going to happen next. I'm going to make you regret it. This worries the Izuku from another world. He was going to have to fight again against a stronger opponent. And it was going to be a serious fight. I had a migraine after reading the first couple of lines. I don't know how we all are getting on.
Alright, we'll get some Mickey Mouse in here. Why not? Okay. Hi. Fine then, if you want to fight so badly. Oh, right, yeah. Izuku, the Iron Fist one, walked onto the stage. Oh, then I'll give you one. Just be warned. I'm stronger than you think. Midnight was currently about to stop the new Izuku through what appeared to be a rock at midnight and hitting her in the face, knocking her unconscious. None of the pros could do anything with the aura these two gave off to each other. And grabbing the attention of Manny, especially the medical team who was on standby, and Manny not even noticing the announcer was different than Ether, Eraserhead, or President Mike, cue Jin Kazuma's Tekken 3 team. Give us our closest approximation, Bubbles. Jin Kazuma's Tekken 3 team theme. Nobody's going unscathed after this battle. Fight! And at that, the two fighters charge at each other. Haru was activating her Kagune and was about to slam Izuku with the wing-like Kagune when Izuku did something that Haru wasn't expecting. He sidestepped in a clockwise direction, dogging the Kagune and punching her so hard in the gut that she felt like she was going to puke blood.
Timing!
Good female. Yeah, sure, why not?
There, let's get one weary, not How hard can you hit?
While this was going through her head, and the heads of other ghoul friends, she was dogging the multitude of punches and kicks multitude of punches and kicks Izuku was throwing, then going for a spinning demon and moving in for an electric wind god fist, hurting Haru even more. What the fuck just happened? Quickly flying up, she charges in for a dive bomb. He counters with another punch, sending them both back and flying to the edge of the arena. How do you have a devil gene? This confused Haru.
Is he mistaking it for something, is he?
And this is also you.
No, it's just my Kagune. I'm a girl.
Now it was Izuku's turn to be confused, though he didn't show it and decided to speak a cool sounding and intimidating line. A mere ghoul can't do much when compared to a devil or a mouse. This confused Manny before Izuku gave into his rage, releasing the devil form. What the hell are you, ghoul?
Not a girl, I'm a devil.
Wait, I think we got that backwards.
Okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
the pure shock could not be contained in words. So let's go on with Devil Izuku, looking like the normal Devil Jin, with no shirt and hot rod flame pants. That was the Soul Calibur 5 / Tekken 5 OST, Antares, for anyone who didn't know.
What?
Yeah.
Let me show you. Devil Izuku said in a more demonic and scratchy sounding voice. Then the fight was taken into the air. When Devil Izuku zoomed past Haru and sent her flying, she recovers mid-air and quickly got hit a few more feet back. Then the aerial battle did the Dragon Ball Z thing where the two combatants were moving so fast the crowd could barely see anything other than the shockwaves that happened when they clashed. Haru was getting more tired, leaving an opening that Devil Izuku capitalized on. He hit her with the force to fracture her arm, making it useless unless she wanted it to be even worse. What? And grabbed her by the head and dragging her to the ground, slamming the ground with a sickening thud. Devil Izuku took the struggling to get up to Haru and threw her into the air with telekinesis. He was about to shoot Haru with a laser, but something hit him. It was Izuku of Cannibal, I should stress, firing a wind pressure shot with 5%. It didn't do much, but made the laser miss. Then Devil Izuku looked at the broken and tattered Izuku. This was a mistake, as this gave Haru enough time to recover and see what he did to the devil. Quickly zooming towards Devil Izuku with a slam. Then going in for a punch to the face. Connecting, Haru quickly tried to do another punch. But this was caught by Devil Izuku, throwing her back and giving her time to recover. He taunts the ghoul to make another move. Angered by the taunt, she charges in with blind rage.
This was when Devil Izuku also was charging to throw a punch. The two ran at each other and then... POW! They both punched each other in the face. Thank you. Devil Izuku decided to show how hopeless it was to try and damage him in that way. The two were sent flying back, but Devil Izuku landed on his feet. Haru wasn't as well off as she slid off the stage. Devil Izuku was walking up to Haru and was about to throw a final punch. Wait, when Izuku of Cannibal used his finger shot to shoot himself forward with 100%. This sends Devil Izuku a good 10 to 15 feet as he was prepared for another interference from the Izuku of this world. But as Devil Izuku was walking back, he fell over as the other side of Devil Izuku tried to take control again. This made Devil Izuku pass out when a mysterious stranger, wearing a trench coat hiding many of his features and wearing a hat to block his face, knocked him in the back of the neck. I took that pause on purpose. There's a full stop. This reverted Devil Izuku back into his original form. He then walked over to the now unconscious Haruka Ryu and Izuku Midoriya of Cannibal. While he carrying the Izuku Midoriya
of the Iron Fist story.
I don't know, who's this? Who's talking? Who is this right now?
Hey, it's always so satisfying to see a fight play out in person. This person positions Izuku of Cannibal, leaning and sleeping at Haru on the wall, and having Haru resting on top of Izuku's of Cannibal head. Then wiping out a quick fix medigun, proceeds to heal the two. Using some convoluted writer's magic, kept all the pros and students from entering the center of the Colosseum. Then opening a portal with Yamato from Devil May Cry, said the following before hopping through the portal. You should probably send people down to check on midnight. Oh yeah, if you're wondering who I am, I'm King J Gamer. So the author has actually made an appearance in this. Then hopping through the portal to the world of the Iron Fist of My Hero Academia. The crowd had only one thing on their mind. What the heck just happened?
There's another author's note. So yes, I fixed the ending. Myself. Physically going there and bringing back the lightning of fate.
Shut
to
up!
his world, my story, from the story of Cannibal. Really, if you don't like the ending, then okay. But that is the end of my little side story, and Osseless Blanket, I hope you're working on the next few chapters. This was all, and I hope to see you all in my offical story. Also, none of the things I used in the fight that related to Cannibal exactly represented the way the story will go. I was just what I think the story would have continued if I continued writing that story.
Bye.
Well, that's the end of that fan fiction. So Bubbles has given me some stuff. I'm gonna regret opening this Google Doc. Fitzy doesn't even know what this is.
No.
Eating too much
I
fiber.
would.
Fiber.
I don't think they'll want to see this. Yeah. I mean, no.
I kind of do now.
All right. Okay, it's pretty short, and it's so meta. So meta.
It's about us.
So Bubbles went away and decided to commission a story. So we've got to start this off. Okay. So I do I say?
At the end.
At the end. Cool.
Do we know him?
It was a Connor. I don't know who it was. You. I haven't read it yet. I expect greatness.
Ashling McCain. Oh my God! Did you do this? Was this something that you put together?
How drunk were you when you wrote this? Okay, cool. Yay. Okay. Let's get it started. Private note for Bubbles. Each time you speak, just press a random button on the soundboard. The title of this story is The Super Cool Story of How Mans of Action Got to Akumakon. Author's notes. Hi guys. I didn't like how they didn't tell us how Mans of Action actually formed after Erta died, so I decided to write my own story about it. If you don't like what I wrote, then you can go jump out a window.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Chapter 1. It was a very sad day. On the day Erta died. Erta was a big deity that was loved by everyone and was super popular and pretty. Erta had a favorite herald called Jim, and Jim was given a really cool megaphone. It can get the attention of everyone better than a normal, boring megaphone. It's like a mega awesome phone. He could use it to yell at everyone and draw attention to all the things Erta wanted them to know, like where all the important things were, or important news. Jim was a super important and loved herald.
I'd also like to specify one thing. I love the fact that it's actually written in Comic Sans.
Little attentions to detail that really hurt me. But when Erta died, Jim was really sad. Like, sadder than the day he found out that that big plot twist in that video game he really, really liked. He spent 2 full days being really sad and eating a lot of ice cream. But things were about to get way worse.
That's what she said.
After spending a night with the local bards, singing sad songs, he woke up to find his megaphone gone! Jim looked under his bed, in his closet, in his kitchen, under the sink, inside his shoes, everywhere! He sat outside his home and was really sad. Until a letter landed at his feet.
Jim,
It said in all capital letters.
I have your megaphone. If you want to cross the country to the temple of Akuma.
Jim was really mad. He made a phone call and ran to get his friend Bubbles.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Bubbles speaks in a special language. But because he and Jim are such good friends, Jim can understand exactly what he says. Said Bubbles.
Yes, we should face Akuma and get my magic megaphone back.
Said Jim.
I'm not even going to do this in character at all. I'm just doing my own voice.
He was really happy now. They would travel on a big adventure and make everything good again. Chapter 2. The road was long and boring. It was like having double math on Monday morning, but a road. It had lots of trees and a big wide path. Jim told loads of really funny stories.
But suddenly,
2 guys jumped out in front of them. They looked really, really mad.
oh no, it's Andrew and Kieran.
Jim said loudly, "Ha ha! Ha! We have you now, Jim!" said Andrew in a really deep voice.
Because Kieran's from Belfast, I'll try and put on my best Northern Irish accent. You can't escape us now,
Said Kieran in a really squeaky voice. "Give us the magic megaphone!" said Andrew in a really squeaky voice. Go. Said Bubbles.
We actually don't have it, lads.
Said Jim. Andrew and Kieran were really surprised.
Where is that? Where is it?
Said Kieran in a really deep voice.
Akuma stole it. I need to get it back.
Said Jim with a big baby huff. Kieran looked at Andrew. Andrew looked at Kieran. Andrew and Kieran looked at Jim. Jim looked at Andrew and Kieran. Bubbles ate a sandwich. "I want to fight a deity!" said Andrew in a really squeaky voice.
Me too. We'll help you fight the evil Akuma.
Said Kieran in a really deep voice. And that's how the 2 evil bandits joined the team. The team walked and walked for... chapter 3. The team walked and walked for ages. The really boring road was really boring. Everyone knew Jim looked really worried about something, but no one dared ask in case he was still really sad about his magic megaphone.
I am really sad about my magic megaphone,
said Jim.
but I want it back now. I think I have to do the unthinkable.
You disgust me.
Said Bubbles. He was surprised.
That's right, Bubbles. I need to find John.
At that, they turned a corner and walked into a spooky forest. This is spooky, said Andrew in a really deep voice.
I'm not scared. I'm from West Belfast.
Said Kieran in a really squeaky voice. Said Bubbles. He pointed at someone in the distance. Jim narrowed his eyes with an angry face.
John,
said Jim. He was not happy. Jim, said John. He also was not happy. I do not want to talk to you.
Oh,
You know, I am not your friend anymore. I'm an evil. I'm fucking evil.
But John, I need your help. Akuma stole my magic megaphone, and I cannot be a herald,
said Jim in a really sad voice. I am evil and haunted by ghosts of my past, said John. He turned around so Jim wouldn't see his face. Who the fuck is this guy?
I can't do a tip accent though, so I'm not even going to try.
Not a ghost, I'm invisible.
Said Dahi. Everyone gasped because they could not see Dahi. Dahi! Said Andrew in a really squeaky voice.
I thought you fucking died there in that really big bottle.
Said Kieran in a really deep voice. His ghost haunts me, reminding me of my evilness, said John. He still wasn't looking at the others. I like how emo I am. Oh yeah.
No, we'll do that later.
Okay. His ghost haunts me, reminding me of my evilness, said John. Your daddy,
George, he was an accident. Not dead.
said Daddy. He sounded sad,
Bummer!
said Bubbles. That made Jim jump,
You're right.
said Jim.
John, you're the only one who can get us to Akuma really super fast with your super amazing teleporting skills. Please help us. We're going to fight the deity,
said Kieran in a really deep voice. Join us, said Andrew in a really deep voice. John didn't answer. But then, he turned around.
Wait, that's you.
I'm evil. But I will do this for you, Jim. You were my friend, said John. There was a little tiny smile.
Akuma, I can't do it. We did this
Just do anything.
Akuma might be able to make me not invisible anymore,
said Dahi. But everyone jumped at the sudden voice. And that was how we got to Mans of Action. But it's not over. Chapter 4. Akuma's temple was really sneaky. It was hidden in a big bag of winding corridors.
A big school of winding
Big
corridors.
school of winding corridors. And the Mans of Action team got lost so many times. A really nice man with a really cool beard told them where to go, and then they arrived. When they walked into the main temple room, everyone jumped in surprise. Akuma was a blue guy with red eyebrows, Jesus, my words, and a red eyeliner. His black hair was tied up and standing up. His black coat had a red belt. He stood up and pointed at the group. Who wants to, you guys are Akuma. Just repeat after me. There you are.
There you are,
said Akuma, making the Mans of Action jump again.
Akuma,
Said Jim with anger.
you stole my magic megaphone. Give it back.
No,
No!
said Akuma. I did not steal it. I did not. I woke up the other day and it was here. Did you not get my letter?
Well, yeah.
Said Jim. He was confused.
But you stole it!
I did not steal it. I'm a nice guy. Why would I do that? Said Akuma, who had his feelings hurt. Your megaphone is magic. It knew I need a herald. Gondor calls for aid. The Mans of Action were really confused.
Coco, punch!
Said Bubbles. He pretended to punch something so the others knew what he had said, since they did not understand him like Jim can. Yeah! Said Andrew in a really squeaky voice.
We wanna fight ya!
Said Kieran in a really deep voice. Okay, this is you guys again. But how about you fight other people for me? Said Akuma, who does not like fighting. Andrew and Kieran liked this idea because they like fighting people. They're not here to defend themselves. Everyone was so busy talking, they nearly missed John leave. I'm too evil for this, said John. He shook his head and let his raven black hair fall over his eye. The broody one, not the other one. Okay, this is a long one. Stay! Stay! We can make Dahi not invisible again. I can see him even if you cannot. He is okay. Said Akuma happily. That made John happy, and he walked back over to the others.
Can I be your herald and tell really funny stories with my friends?
Said Jim. Everyone cheered when Akuma said, Yes! That's how we find them on Saturday night telling funny stories. The end! We have a little bit of time. We have a little bit of time. James, you absolute dick nugget. You did not. Oh, wait, no, he did. He did. He set me on this. I didn't think I'd get around to this. We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to speed read through relationship advice. I was getting into that. I was going to be like, how do I, 35-year-old female, get my coworker? Started again. Started out. My 64-year-old female to stop telling me personal stuff about people's vaginas. This was tagged non-romantic. Sorry for the clickbait title, but it is accurate. No, I am not talking about people who are pregnant. I live in a small-ass town where everyone knows and is sometimes related to everyone else. My coworker just loves to gossip about people. It's seriously her favorite pastime. The worse the news, the more excited she is to share it. And she has no filter at all. I swear, she was half excited when her own mother died because then she was closest to the gossip and got to gossip about the grisly details of her mother's death. She even loudly tells everyone about her recent gallbladder stones in detail during our open business hours. I finally got her to stop telling me about how iceberg lettuce runs right through her and how she spends the next hour shitting her brains out if she eats it, which she brings up whenever anyone mentions it. Oh no, it's even worse. Whenever anyone mentions eating. Now, she still says she can't eat it all the time, but she'll defer to because, you know. Instead of the graphic descriptors used previously. All of that is annoying, but I can ignore it for the most part. However, perhaps because I am also female, she really likes to share super personal information about other people's vaginas, and it makes me super uncomfortable. Sometimes I know the people, and it gives me an uncomfortable image in my head, plus it's none of my business, or hers for that matter. Sometimes I don't know them at all, which is almost worse, because she's now telling strangers about someone's vaginal issues / health. What's worse is that she repeats them over and over again. Even when I tell her to stop, while she's retelling the story, I shake my head at arms, interrupting her, saying, please stop, this story makes me uncomfortable, I don't want to hear it again. She will have to finish the story whenever she starts it, even if I do all that, even if I've heard it many times before. Some actual examples of stories she has told and retold to me repeatedly and loudly. Her eldest grandchild is a bastard, and her granddaughter was drugged and assaulted at a local restaurant, which is now her which is how her grandchild was produced. I'm not sure if this is a small town way of her avoiding the scandal of an unwed mother or not, because she made her youngest daughter marry when she was knocked up at 16. I know she did this because she straight up told me that she did. A lady in town that I've never met had a baby born without part of his skull, who slowly died in her arms. She named the baby her little bumblebee. The death led her to lose her mind, and now all she does is collect bumblebees and is now obsessed with them. She will never be the same. She loves to tell this story especially. I have heard it 3 times. That's really disturbing. Okay, I'm just going to read the next one to make sure it's not as fucked up. And Oh, yeah. That's just about as worse. I don't know how delicate are you guys, trigger warnings, etc. I should have mentioned that at the start. 18 plus, trigger warnings. Yeah, I'm just